announcements because I'm going rogue here. You got anything else? There we go. Oh, student camp's coming up. We're like 3 weeks away. June 13th through the 17th, it's going to be a huge camp. The theme this year is called Matchless One. We're going to SBU. We just upgraded, guys, from school buses to charter buses. So you're going in style. We have filled all of our slots. If you were still like, I really, really want to go to camp, that doesn't mean you can't get in. We just have all of our slots filled, but the camp still has slots. You can still I'm sure we can still fit you in rooms with us and stuff. But you just have to go to huge camp. Well, if you're still wanting to go, contact us. We'll get you hooked up with where you need to go. It is Senior Sunday, so all of our seniors are upstairs. Yeah. So, number one, you just need to give all of your leaders a big hug and thank you. Many of them were here Rhonda was here all night last night setting up for it, but lots of us were up here since 6:45, maybe even earlier than that, for our senior breakfast. All of the parents were here. There was a lot of people. We had if you got to be in service, we got to recognize them and have a good prayer time with them and hear from some of them. So some of them will be coming back down here, but it's a good week to be alive here. What else do we get? Anything? All of our summer activities. So if you are new here or haven't been a part of our summers yet, starting in 2 weeks, we take a break from Exodus that meets on Wednesday night, and we start doing First Student Summer Nights on Wednesday nights. Those services look a little different. Our services will be a little shorter, geared a little differently. And then we always end one of our services with either going somewhere or doing something here. So in 2 weeks, we will kick that off with a slip and slide. Are we doing dodgeball or kickball? Slip and slide soccer this year, which will be up on the patio. So we'll have teams of 4 again, I think. You'll have opportunities to sign up for those teams. Some of them have already started signing up. And then we just have a whole host of things. If you did not receive one of these cards last Wednesday night because you weren't here, you can come up and actually I will just set them out on the table at the base of the stairs. It has everything that we're doing for the entire summer laid out, so you can kind of check that out and see what it is. So we're doing slip and slide soccer. We're going to get custards at Custard's Last Stand in Blue Springs on the 8th. The 15th, we're gone for camp, but then we'll have pool parties at the Woods houses, separate nights. 1 week's mid-school, 1 week's high school. We'll have. We're going to go rent out some theaters at Blue Springs 8 and watch the new Minions movie. We're doing a dodgeball tournament here one week. We're taking the week off, the week of breakaway, because a lot of you guys are going to be serving at that, and all of us know how exhausting that week is, but it's a lot of fun. Then we're going to do some volleyball in the gym. And then we've got a family prayer time that next week. So if you want to know what's going on this summer, you need to grab one of these cards with the green boxes on it out there. They'll be on the table out there. Am I leaving anything out? No life group this week because of everything that's happening. Our leaders are actually meeting so they were here early for church, or for our senior breakfast, and they're staying late because we're talking about the next coming semester. So we've got an all-team meeting upstairs. Lunch is provided, leaders. So hope to see you there. Anything else? You got nothing for me? You came unprepared? Everybody boo Will. Unbelievable. It's the highlight of my week, man. It's the highlight of my week. Highlight of my week. That's all right. I shouldn't have had them boo you. I'm sorry, Will. That was mean of me. All right, let's play a quick game. How many of you guys are big Wordle fans? Yeah? Wordle? How many of you are experts on vocabulary? We're going to play a quick game this week. Let's look at our team competition. We've got 6th grade girls in the lead, I think, with 70 million points. We've got 2 more weeks. Or actually, next week is the last week, so We're still in the game here. 6th grade girls are in the lead. 8th grade girls have 40 million. Senior girls have 40. Senior guys have 40. And 8th grade boys have 25 million. So we're all still in the lead here. We're going to play a quick game called... Oh, it is? I'd change it. Okay, you're competing for the senior boys today? All right, I got you. We're going to play a little game called Fancy Words. And here is how this works. Show me the instructions here, Will. It should pop up here. Did it not? It's not working? All right, right-click on it. Go to... No, that TV's on. How is that not working?
That also showed up on the stream.
Audience. Oh. There we go. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to put a word up on the screen, and you're going to have two options. Two options for what that word means. Some of them you're going to know, some of them you're not going to know. If you think it's the first definition, you're going to come over to this side of the room. If you think it is the second definition, you're going to come over to this side of the room, and then we'll see who's right. Ready? Everybody stand on up. Show me the first word. The penultimate. Penultimate. Does penultimate mean the next to last thing or the top rank on a list? The next to last, come over here. Number 1 over on this side. Number 2 on this side. You got 5 seconds to move. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1 1/4. 1 is over here. 2 is over here. 1 over there. 2 over here. And stop. Are you on 2? You're on this side? All right. Show us the answer. Number 1 is, so if you picked number 2, you're going to have a seat. If you pick number 1, you're still in. Let's see the second word. Okay. I'm pushing it back so people can see. Sorry. Is that better? Is that better? All right. Diminutive. Diminutive. Does it mean looking down at something right over here? Or does it mean exceptionally small? 1 or 2? 1 or 2. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Are you guys over on this side? Are you on this side or that side? All right. All right, here we go. Let's show us the answer. 2. If you picked 1, have a seat. If you picked 2, you're still in the game. Let's see the third word. The confluence. Confluence. Is confluence the place where two objects touch? Or is it coming together of diverse people? Confluence. The place where two objects touch over here? Or coming together of diverse people? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Is this over here? All right, here we go. Let's see the answer. 2. Coming together about diverse people. All right, if you pick 2, you're still in. If you picked 1, you're out. Let's see the next word. Granular. Is it something done on a large scale? Or is it meticulous level of detail? Some of these have multiple meanings. All right. Something done on large scale, number 1, or meticulous level of detail. Everybody pick 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see the answer. 2, meticulous level of detail. All right, if you picked number 2, you're still in. Let's see the next word. Parlance. Parlance, is it the tip on object or topic, or 2 set of words used by a group? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see the answer. Set of words used by a group. Number 2, you're still in. Number 1, have a seat. All right, let's see the next word. Who all's still in here? So we got Dwayne, and Jay, and then everybody else is up here that's still in, right? Okay, good. All right, here we go. Effervescent, being a good gift giver, or a lively, bubbly person. 1 over here, being a good gift giver. 2, a lively, bubbly person. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see the answer. A lively or bubbly person. Are you guys still in? All right. So we've got, all right, here we go. Let's see the next one. How many more do we have? A lot? We'll be able to play this game again then? Okay. We have 7 more? Okay. Abate, to make something more important or to reduce the intensity. 1 or 2? You're staying here? You're staying with number 2? Are you all going number 2 as well? Oh, we've got 1 person moving over to 1. All right, here we go. Let's see the answer. 2, to reduce in intensity. So, all right. Are you ready? It's a show-off between the two senior leader guys and you. Jackson's got it. Who wants Jackson to be Jay and Dwayne? All right, here we go. Dwayne's like, not happening. All right, here we go. Let's see the next word. Erudite. Erudite. You know what it is? All right. Number 1, being forceful in decisions. Number 2, showing knowledge gained by study. Erudite. You staying? Is everybody staying with 2? All right, here we go. Let's see the answer. Showing knowledge gained by study. Next word. Oh, this is an easy one. Go to the next one. Plethora is easy. Fortnite. This is actually a good one. All right, Fortnite. Does fortnight mean an excess of energy or a period of 14 days? You're staying? Everybody's staying too? All right, let's see it. A period of 14 days. There's 1 more. Let's do 1 more, and then we'll just give points to everybody if they're still in. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Inui? Inui? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. All right. Is it boredom or transparent? You're staying with 2. Transparent. Let's see the answer. Boredom. Senior guys. All right. Show me the point board. Yeah. Let's give 7th grade guys $25 million. And let's give 12th grade boys. How about this? I'll make it interesting. Let's go $30 million. So they're tied with 6th grade girls, and then next week's really like a game changer. There. All right? Huh? Give 8th grade girls $20 million. She was Final 2 students. All right. Are we good? All right, roll that video. Roll the video. Oh, that's all right.
In life, we will meet resistance, which can leave us feeling worn down and worn out. But we can find a reason to keep going. Show up, push through, and never give up.
Hey, again, I'm just super grateful that you guys are here. We're gonna go into week 3 of our study, Never Give Up, and we're just another shameless plug. If you're not part of our YouVersion reading plan, you can friend us on YouVersion. Just look for FSM You'll see our logo. That's us. You can friend us, and then when we start new reading plans that coincide with our series, you can jump in. I was even getting notifications of Alexis. Where's Alexis at? Making some comments on her reading plan, even last night. So it's been a good time. We're actually a week behind on this one, but we're on today's day 7, even though we're day 14. So that's all right. I'm glad you're here. It's the 3rd week again, and it's all about helping. This whole series is about helping you become more resilient in life. And what exactly does resilience mean? Resilience is our ability to bounce back and grow stronger after we've been through a struggle, or we failed at something, or we faced really hard things in life. Resilience builds character in us, right? How many of you think most things in life are better with friends? Just raise your hand. Do you think things are better in life with friends? If you're part of First Service, there's a lot of parallels you're going to hear in this lesson today from what our seniors shared from the stage today. One of the things that they took away from student ministry the most is the friendships that they were bonded to in this time. I totally agree with you. Raise your hand. Things are better in life with friends. I think there are some things in life that just aren't the same when you experience them by yourself. And the older I get, the more introverted I get, the more I like to be alone. But I also realize that there is value in being with other people. Have you ever tried FaceTiming yourself? Yeah, kind of stupid, right? It'd be pretty weird. How about doing a duet on TikTok with no one on the other side? No? A little odd. How about, have you ever tried to play a game of football by yourself? Not very fun, but at least you're good for once, right? Not very fun. There's lots of times in life where you try and do stuff by yourself, and I don't know, I got into doing electronic stuff when I started playing guitar, and I started building pedal boards and trying to solder things, holding your teeth, and doing it by yourself is really hard. And it's always helpful if you have got another set of hands, or even a fake set of hands that hold things together for you. Things are just easier when we're not doing stuff by ourselves. It's always easier to empty the dishwasher, right, when you got 2 people instead of 1. It takes half the time. Folding laundry, it's when it's a team effort of a whole family. It takes you 5 minutes instead of an hour. It's awesome. We know that some things just can't be done alone, but here's why I think that this is an interesting thing. Even though we know it, we don't always live like that is true in our own lives. For one reason or another, so many of us go through life alone. And you've probably heard people at school or online talk about the problem of loneliness in our world and in their own lives. Maybe you've even experienced your fair share of loneliness along the way. Or you're experiencing it even right now in life. Maybe you're sitting in your seat right now, feeling alone and isolated, even in this chair in here. If you have, then you know that loneliness is a real thing. Ella even talked about this from stage upstairs, just like I was talking about earlier. According to a recent study, as many as 3 out of every 5 people that you see on a daily basis say that they are lonely. It's kind of hard to picture that. 3 out of every 5 people will tell you that they experience loneliness on a daily basis. That's crazy. When you think about that, how big of a number that is. When you look at loneliness in that way, it becomes really clear that loneliness is a really big deal in the world that you live in. That means that a majority of us feel like we're walking through life alone. We're trying to get through all the stressful events, the difficult circumstances, and hard days by ourselves. And nothing about that is very easy. But I think part of the problem is that we think that we've done it all on our own, that we have to do it all on our own. I think that's why so many of us pull away when life gets really tough. When hard things happen and we feel like we have to figure them out on our own. So we pull away from people who might be able to help us just to prove that we can do it on our own. We can do it alone because we don't have to be a burden to people. We think that everyone else has their own lives to deal with, so why would they want to deal with mine? Why would they care about mine? So we pull back thinking no one would want to know what's going on. We also hold things back from other people. Maybe we start hiding the stuff that's hard or difficult in our lives. From the people that are even closest to us, we hide those things. We don't open up in our small groups. We don't open up to our friends. We don't open up to our parents. We think that admitting things that are difficult might make us look like we don't have it all together. We think it's going to make us look weak. We're afraid to show the world that we just don't have what it takes. Maybe we think that life has to be all me. We think that no one will care about our problems more than we will. So if anyone's going to figure out a way out of a difficult time or difficult stuff or situation, it's us. We have to solve our own problems. We have to make it without the help of others. We have to rely on only one person, and that's ourselves. I know that I have felt that way before at times in my life. Maybe you have too. Maybe you are right now. And I don't know about you, but as much as I might believe that all of those things is best or true, holding back from other people, pulling away from people, relying on myself, oftentimes it just makes things a lot harder. It makes things a lot harder. It makes us feel even more lonely. It does the opposite of build resilience, like we're talking about in this series. And helps us find does the opposite of that and does the opposite of helping us move forward. It can make us feel stuck. In other words, it's really working. It isn't really working for us. So what if the way to build resilience didn't just have to do with us and what we put into it? What if the key to getting through difficult times and choosing hope when things seem hopeless on our own lives or in our own lives, what if it had something to do with the people we invite into the process with us? What if real resilience isn't something that you can build by yourself? Today we're going to look at an ancient example to help us kind of with this idea. And it's recorded in the second part of the Bible called the New Testament, which documents life during and after Jesus lived on earth. See, here we believe that knowing Jesus changes everything. And that's why when we struggle with certain thoughts or ideas in life, we like to look back to the words and the experiences of Him, of Jesus, and the people who were transformed by Him as well, to help us see how knowing Jesus today can affect our lives just like it affected their lives back then. So today we're actually going to talk about a guy whose entire life changed because of Jesus, and his name was Paul. And he was one of the most famous and influential Christians to ever live, then or now. He started many of the first Christian churches. He helped train other leaders to continue sharing Jesus' message with the world. And he wrote most of the letters of the New Testament. Pretty key guy, and he was pretty incredible. Early on in his days of starting churches, Paul worked alongside some of his best friends, Barnabas, Silas, and Mark. And these were early Christians who had helped spread the good news about Jesus, which was a huge mission. So they all knew working together was super key. But at one point, Paul and his friend Barnabas got into a little bit of an argument. And see, Paul was kind of annoyed with one of their other friends, Mark, who bailed on them during one of their trips when they were starting some churches and planting churches. And when he told Barnabas about his frustrations with Mark, Barnabas wasn't as understanding as Paul probably had hoped to be. And why is that? Well, that's because Mark was actually Barnabas' cousin. So he had a little bit of that, loyalty. You fight with your brother, but if somebody else says something about him, you're like, wait a second. That happens with my own daughters. Doesn't it, Louie? So Barnabas, Mark was Barnabas' cousin. Sorry. So when Paul wanted to tell Mark that he couldn't keep traveling with them after he bailed on them, Barnabas didn't really dig that idea. He didn't just want to leave his cousin behind, and Paul and Barnabas just couldn't agree. So they ended up going their separate ways, and they kind of split up and did their own thing. Well, as time passed, Paul found himself in a pretty bad situation, in a difficult spot. He was actually put in jail for telling others about Jesus. And Paul could have given in right then and there, and who wouldn't have blamed him for giving in? I mean, the guy's sitting in jail for doing what he knew was right. He was probably pretty broken and defeated at times. He was in jail alone, but Paul doesn't give up easily. Luckily for us, Paul doesn't give up very easily. He actually writes a letter to one of his friends named Timothy. And in that letter, there's one small sentence that tells us what Paul does instead. So take a look at it. It's in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 11. It says, "Get Mark and bring him with you, because he is helpful to me in ministry." I know that's simple, but I don't want you to miss this. In this letter to Timothy, Paul asks Mark to come along, the very guy that he refused to bring with him years before. That has to be a pretty big fight if you're like traveling with the guy and you just leave him behind, right? So context is kind of everything in this conversation. Just reading that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. We don't know exactly what was going on in Paul's mind, but it seems like Paul comes to realize that whether through his circumstances or through Mark's own actions, that we need the help of each other. We need the help of other people. See, Paul was on a mission, literally a mission. And he was trying to share the message of Jesus to as many people as he could. And he cared too much about the mission to let his own pride, his own self-reliance get in the way of the mission. Maybe he even knew that he couldn't, or maybe he even knew that without the others in his life, that we are more likely to quit on that mission. And maybe in your case, it could be that other people help you pass that test, or deal with your anxiety, or navigate with the loss of someone that you love, or even grow in your own faith. Our circumstances may look different than Paul's. We may not be sitting in prison alone. At least I hope you're not. But the point is the same. Letting other people in to help us is actually one of the ways that we can build resilience in our lives. That's why I want you to remember this. Never give up on others. No matter how difficult it can be to ask for help or let people in. No matter if we've grown up thinking that life is supposed to be all about me. No matter how many times that we've thought that it's only up to us to get through tough times in life. If we want to keep going, if we want to keep growing, if we want to keep developing resilience, we need to never give up on others. Now, just so we're clear, we're not talking about situations or relationships where others are harming you or harming other people in any way. Not giving up on others doesn't mean staying in a situation or a relationship where you're unsafe. That's not what I'm talking about. And if you're in one of those relationships where that is the case, or if you aren't sure if that is the case, but you think that might be, please talk to one of us about that. talk to your small group leader, talk to another trusted adult in here that can help you out. What we're talking about today is choosing to not give up on others because we think that we're better off alone, that we can do things ourselves, or we don't think that we need others to help us. That's what we're talking about. What Paul did with Mark was to give him another chance, because he knew that there was more on the line than just his own pride. Paul cared more about the gospel than he did his past mistakes, so he didn't give up on Mark. The thing is, a lot of us have grown up thinking that it was a sign of strength to deal with something on your own. If you can get through it on my own, if I can do it by myself, I'm a stronger person. I don't need anybody else. Or we've grown up feeling really alone, not sure what good other people can bring us. So it's important to know what exactly refusing to give up on other people can do for us. Number one, they help us grow. There's only so much that we can know or experience on our own. And other people bring their experience and bring their knowledge and give us a larger perspective of what's going on around us. They help us know things about ourselves, the world, and God that we wouldn't know without them. Other people make our world much bigger. Number two, they help us see the good. When life gets tough, sometimes there's nothing better than a friend who's there to remind us of all the good that is happening around us. Their perspective helps us keep going when we want to just give up, stop, and quit. The opposite is true, too, if we help our friends stay positive when they want to give up. You know, negativity breeds negativity. Two people are complaining about something, they're both going to bolt. We've got to be the positive, encouraging. Friendships have become more resilient. They help us become more resilient. Number three, they provide the support that we really need. Sometimes we all just need someone to lean on. Lean on me. Love that song. I just had to sing a little bit because Rob's in the room. We need someone to laugh with, to cry with. I cry a lot. Cried this morning with Jonas, praying with him and his mom and dad. We need somebody to laugh with, to cry with, or even just sit across the table and talk to sometimes. You know this because your friends need this from you sometimes. Part of building resilience is becoming more emotionally and mentally healthy. And when we have people around us to support us through the ups and the downs of life, they might encourage us to process our emotions in healthy ways, or even to get professional help from counselors or therapists. All of this leads us to a healthier and more resilient version of ourselves. This is why we should never give up on others, because one of the best ways to build resilience is in a relationship with other people. And that is really the whole point of student ministry. Rob, this is kind of Rob's talk. We need other people in our lives to make us better. We need to be in Scripture together. And Paul is a great example of that. So what can we do to begin? What can we do now to begin to start allowing others to help us with this? So here's a few questions just to get us started today. So ask yourself, what is happening? Maybe you're beginning to realize just how much you keep other people, or how much you keep from other people. Maybe you're noticing that you don't have someone that you're comfortable really opening up to. Take time to recognize what's really happening when it comes to your relationships. Do you feel lonely? Have you been pulling away because you're going through something? Start by getting real about where you currently are when it comes to letting other people in. Second question to ask yourself is, what is true no matter what? So many messages around you will tell you that you can figure out life alone. And that is not true. We talked about that today. We need other people. If someone as influential as Paul needed the help of someone else, like Mark and Barnabas, it's safe to say that we all need someone else. So remind yourself of that truth. It's okay to need other people. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to lean on ones that you love and care about your life. Their help might be the very thing that helps you become more resilient. And number 3, ask this question to yourself: what can you do? Now, it's time to get to work. It might be awkward and it might be uncomfortable at times, but we have to reach out to other people. We have to take a step toward letting others in. And maybe it's a trusted friend. Maybe it's your small group leader that's in this room. Maybe it's a parent. Start by sharing what ups and downs you're facing in life. And then ask for their perspective on what you can learn, how you can grow, how you can keep going, even when you want to give up. So remember, never give up on others. Because having other people to support you and walk with you through life can make a huge difference in your life. It can help you be more resilient, not just today, but in the future. And that's why I think God gives us other people along the way. And in fact, that's exactly why we have small groups. That's exactly why we have First Student Ministry. This is built to be a safe space for you to share your struggles with a group of people who want to help you face them with resilience, with God alongside you. They want to step in side by side with you, using Scripture to build not only your resilience, but your faith. So, will you consider opening up to the people around you today? Pray with me. God, thank you for your goodness. Thank you for the example of strong leaders like Paul. Thank you for their humanness. Thank you for just the ability to see ourselves in ancient stories in Scripture. While we didn't talk really in depth about that story today, God, that the little bit of truth in that is so strong. God, in Paul's loneliness, he realizes how much he needed other people to help get him out of the muck. For the greater good, for the purpose of the gospel. He cared about Jesus' life, and he cared about telling other people about who Jesus was more than he cared about his own personal junk going on in his life, more than his own pride. God, I pray that over these students. God, that they don't believe the lies that are told to them, that they just need to do stuff, pull themselves up by their own bootstraps and get stuff done on their own. God, but we're here together. It's the whole purpose of this ministry. That's the whole purpose of why our leaders are here each and every week. They're here to invest in these students, to do life with them, side by side. God, that's the whole reason why we're here. So, God, I pray for these students. I pray for the students that are sitting in this room, sitting in this chair, feeling lonely. Even in this moment. God, I just pray for openness and a willingness for these students to be transparent with one another and real and not fake and not try to put on a mask of being perfect, because none of us are, especially me, because I cry a lot. God, we love you. We pray that our small group time gives you glory and honor. Amen. All right, guys. See you in your groups. Hey, we're bumping up grades in 2 weeks. How crazy is that? Yeah. Oh.